Hello and welcome to Samantha K's Creative Arts and Cooking Channel. The title of today's video is Dollar Store Millinery. Yes, I'm going to talk about how to decorate and make fancy hats out of plain little sun hats you can buy from the dollar store. Because as you see, things don't have to cost a lot of money to be nice. We can use our resources and our creativity to make something beautiful. So my foray into hat decorating started this Easter with an Easter bonnet because I've always wanted to wear a hat on Easter Sunday. At least I have the past few years. And this year, my goal was accomplished. And there you can see the cherry blossom I made out of blanket binding by taking a cherry blossom cookie cutter, cutting out the shapes, sewing a pearl in the center, and then I took some rose leaves and I cut them to look like cherry blossom leaves. So there you go. Now, today's chapeau that I'll be working on is going to be one of a fancier nature because I have been invited to a wedding and I custom decorated this dress, which I got from Talese, a thrift store, with some trim I bought from Fabricland. And I am taking said trim and using it to also decorate a hat. So, a couple days ago I was in Dollarama and I went and I was looking for a black hat, but I couldn't find a black hat in the shape I wanted. So I ended up using this pink one, and I think perhaps it is better as my skin is so pale, black can be very harsh. I also had a gray hat, but due to the shape being more fitting, I think this one is our best bet. So this is some of the materials I will be using: my hat and trim, a black peony flower I got from Dollarama for I think $1.50 or $1.25, and to get this clip and the hair tie off I used my trusty steamer over there. And then the hat ribbon is made out of blanket binding that I sewed the right sides out, and I've attached to this see-through ribbon here with pearls on the edge. Well, here's our hat band. I may or may not use the pearls. I might take the seam ripper and take them off, but we shall see. And in the middle of my flower, I am going to use shoe glue, because I don't have any more E6000 left, to attach this Swarovski crystal, which I got from Michael's. And yes, both ribbon and blanket binding are from Walmart. So the point of this isn't to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff. It's to use what you have lying around your house. If you're like me who likes to sew a little bit, and you may have some extra trims and accessories lying around, see what's in your sewing box. You might even be able to go to Value Village or a thrift store and they'll have a whole lot on. But yeah, I picked these up over time, and as our video progresses, I'm going to show you my progress on the hat. So the first step in decorating your hat is to take any accessories off that were there. So this originally had a bunch of brown felt flowers, which I steamed off with my steamer. Now, the smarter thing to have been done would have been probably to take them off very gently while the glue was cold, instead of basically steaming more glue into the hat and making it hard to get the excess glue off that had the brown felt flowers on. So yes, that's the first thing. And then another thing is you can either use your clothing iron, or you can use a steamer and to steam your hat into the shape you want. If you want to go another step further, you can buy hat wire and get it so that it keeps the shape. And then after that, my job is going to be to pin on our trim and then using small whip stitches, sew it onto the hat. I may use running stitches, I don't know. That will be to determine later once I've practiced more. But I'm going to see you in the next video. Hello. So right now, I'm going to show you how I am attaching the trim. So I've got about half of it sewn. And I'm doing this through whip stitches. And it's not exact because the straw goes in a spiral pattern. And so sometimes I have to change where I put the stitches. But I want it to sit right here in the crook of the hat so that the ribbon will sit flat and has a nice spot to anchor onto, and it looks flush with the hat. So what I do, I can go in through this side, but I'm making sure to get right close to the edge of this row right here. And that's going to change each time. It's really just keeping it at right angle with the cap. And then again, another whip stitch where we just go in here. Before, sometimes I was using the old stitch marks that are already in the hat where they've stitched together the straw. So now I just capture a little edge of the trim and then go in a little over to the right just to make a very tiny stitch and pull tight. Pull tight. And then you just continue all around doing whip stitches until the whole thing is secure. And then after that, it is time to add on the ribbon. So now I'm attaching the ribbon. And you can see I've sewn white stitches here, cream for the pearls, and black up the center of the hat band. So that keeps the fabric straight. Don't take that step out. Put stitches here at the edge of your ribbon, and I didn't fold it over, I just left it raw to reduce the bulk for when it's done. But just, I whip stitch that in place. I'm probably whip stitching everything in place. Yeah, keep it there so that the ribbon does not buckle in the center. And then continue on with whip stitching on your ribbon. Just to note, when you're sewing this, that I sew between each pearl on the thread part. And I'm starting on the bottom of the hat band and not the top. And I'm going to work the top of the hat band later. I might not be able to sew it, I don't know. But let's see if I can show the stitching. Let me see. A little messy here. I'm going to have to tear that. Hold on, push this out. It's gotten stuck. Pull it tight. I've gotten some strange loops. Put it over top. Kind of a Chanel style look with pearls and black and white here. But super pretty. And if you're a fast sewer, it'll just take a short time. And here, let's see if I can get a better stitch with the next one. So I get right next to the bottom of the trim, the black trim, without sewing into it because I don't want white stitches showing in the black trim. Try not to catch it, but I have sometimes. This is actually a cream or an ivory colored thread. And then go here. Okay, and just keep getting little bubbles. place it just right. Okay, just right. You see? There it is. I'm gonna make sure I don't get any extra loops so that it sits flat against the brim with a flat stitch. Okay. And now would be the time to take this pin out so that I can get close. And pull it tight and just keep doing that all around if you're using a purled ribbon. Well, I'll show you when there's more progress to go. So here I have with me the finished product and the fruit of my labors, all nicely decorated. It took about 5 hours total of sewing, but I was richly rewarded, and I wore this not only to a wedding, but also to church with many lovely outfits. And it's a great summer hat. You can look pretty and keep the sun off your face and keep away burns. And it's very useful. I love it. It makes me feel like a lady. Here is the dress I wore to the wedding, at least part of it. And it just goes to show, as I said earlier, that you don't need to spend a lot of money to look nice. Maybe you can use your creativity. And I also have other hats which I trimmed as well. I have this lovely 1920s type hat here. And the great thing is you can use removable accessories and create different looks with different hats. So I take this off, and then I can put it on this hat, and we have kind of a Chanel look. Would look really nice with some tweed that had black and white going through it. A Chanel jacket. Very pretty. You can also use flowers. Oh, and here, just to show you what it looks like with the hairpin at the end. There you go. And you too can create all these beautiful looks. Here is an example of a floral trim. Like I said, you can enjoy making hats yourself or whatever other creative thing you enjoy doing. The point of this channel is just to get people enjoying seeing my creativity and then using their own themselves. And if you are like me and you have a larger head, a capacious cranium, a huge head, or a large noggin, you can get all these hats that I used at the dollar store. Because of my head is larger, I often can't fit most women's hats, so I go to the dollar store to get them. And again, you don't need to spend a lot of money to look nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please keep coming back, like and subscribe. And I also want to give a shout out to my friend Mary Jane. I love you, and I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye!